Hello and welcome to day 19 of my 365 days of crafting videos. Today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute little sugar skull and ghost finger puppets that can also double as pencil toppers. So let's get started. So what you will need for this video is some felt scraps. I bought a whole bag of this at the thrift store for like 25 cents, so I have tons of scraps. You will need some scissors, some embroidery floss, a needle, and some pencils. And that is all you need to get started with this project. So for the ghost, what I did is I put two pieces of felt together and then just cut out a ghost shape with a kind of a flat bottom. And then I'll show you how to go ahead and put the face on. So embroidery floss usually comes in 6 strands. So what I've done is I've split it into 3 strands, threaded it on a needle, and then put a knot at the end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and make the eyes. I'm going to kind of place it where the eyes are going to be. And I'm going to do French knots. So you just put the needle through. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the thread around the needle 3 times. And you're going to go ahead and put the needle back in, not the same hole that you came out of. And then you're going to go ahead and pull that through. And there you have your French knot. And then I'll go ahead and do the other one. You can, if you don't feel safe eyeballing this, you can go ahead and mark it with a pencil or something so you have a mark for where the eyes go. So you're just going to wrap it around 3 times. And then go ahead and put it down and through the felt and pull it through, and there you have your eyeballs. So then what I did for the mouth is I came up to where I thought the mouth should start, and I'm going to do a back stitch and make a circle. So you make your first stitch and then you go up in front of that stitch, and then you're going to go back into the last hole, and you're just going to continue around until you get your circle. Then once you have your mouth on, then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to knot it in the back just by running it through one of the stitches or a couple of the stitches and then looping through the thread. And then I'll just cut that off. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is attach the ghost together. So you're just going to put it together like that. You're going to take your thread again. You're going to tie a knot. And then I always start my stitch inside so you can't see the knot. So we're going to go like this. So I'm going to start it up a little bit, and then I'm going to do a back stitch, and then I'm just going to do a running stitch, kind of like a little bit far apart from each other, so it turns out like this. Just stitch all the way around. And once you're done, you have your ghost. Now the ghost is pretty easy, so then we're going to move on to the skull. So this skull that I made is about 3 inches long and about 2 1/4 inches wide at the widest. So I'm going to show you how I went ahead and cut that out. So what I did is I took a piece of felt and I just started cutting one side of my skull. Now these can be kind of funky because, I mean, skulls don't all look alike. So I cut it about halfway, and then I just folded it in half. And then I just cut out the other side. And then when I opened it up, I just kind of trimmed it a little bit to the way I wanted it to look. So then once I trimmed it to where I wanted it, then I just took another piece of felt, laid it on top, and just cut out another one exactly like it. Okay, so once you get your skulls cut out, what you're going to do is you're going to cut a circle out for the eye, and you're going to put a contrasting button on that. you're going to cut out the eye patch, and you're going to cut out another white piece for the mouth. That's going to give it a little dimension. And then to stitch all this on, what I did is for the eye patch, I stitched it on with black, and I just basically did just a little stitch all the way around. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to look cute and homemade. So I went ahead and went all the way around with the eye patch, and as you can see, I extended some strings off to the side for the eye patch to be held on. And then I went ahead and I stitched on the eye, and I used the same color as the felt for around the eye, as you can see. And then for the nose, I just cut a little triangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I went ahead and stitched that on the same. I just put stitches all the way around it. And then for the mouth, I went ahead and put black stitches all the way around, and then made stitches straight through the middle, and then made the teeth stitches. And so what you have is this. Basically, the only stitches that I used were just the basic stitch here, and I did do a blanket stitch around the edge, so I'm going to show you how to do that stitch in case you're not aware of that. I've already shown you how to do the French knot, and let me show you how to do the blanket stitch so you can finish off your skeleton stitch. What you're going to do is you're going to put your two pieces together, and then you're going to come up just probably a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch up, and then you're going to come back down, and then you're going to loop that in there. And you can catch this other back up. When you get to the end, you can catch that back up. So you're going to do that all the way around, 1/4 of an inch in, and then you catch the loop, 1/4 of an inch in, and catch the loop, 1/4 of an inch in, and catch the loop. If you don't like that stitch, or if you don't feel like doing something that fancy, you can basically just do a straight stitch around, like we did with the ghost. And you can do that all the way around. Or if you want to make it really easy and you don't want to do any stitching at all, you can use craft glue to attach the eye patch, and to attach the eyeball, and to attach the nose and the mouth. And you can use an indelible pen to make the markings for the teeth. There's a lot of options. I just like the embroidery. A lot of people aren't familiar with embroidery, so that's why I'm trying to show you some basic stitches here. These are really easy and fun little projects to make. They're great for alternatives to passing out candy at Halloween. You can pass out the little finger puppet with the pencil, and the skeleton with the pencil. Kids love them. They're great for party favors if you're going to have a Halloween party, and they're great for your own kids. So I hope that I've been really clear on this. I know a lot of people don't embroider, so I hope I was clear on the stitches. If not, and you need to see stitches over again, please contact me and I will do short videos on some of the stitches for you. So I hope that you have fun making these little favors, and I will see you tomorrow.